So for today's moneymaker, we have kind of an interesting one. We will be picking up Snape grass today. So for this moneymaker, normally all you need is Astral and Law runes for teleports, and of course an Earth Staff to use the Waterbirth Island teleports and the Moon Clan teleports. But since we have access to a max cape, I thought we'd go ahead and test our method against the wikis. The wikis method has you doing about 38 runs per hour, and you end up getting around 950 Snape grass. So we're going to see if using the max cape gets us more or less than what the wiki estimates. So for this method, I will be using my Portal Nexus to teleport to Waterbirth Island. Let's go ahead and configure it so that it's a left click teleport. Drag it onto here, and there we go. Now we can just left click to Waterbirth Island, and as you can see, these Snape grass are located right here. And we've already entered combat with a rock crab, so yeah. So there's 6 spawns here. Each one takes about 16 seconds to respawn back. That's what the wiki said. So by the time we make our way from the first one over to the last one, this one will be respawning already. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark the tile just so I know where to run to after I collect the last one. So once we have a full inventory, what we'll do is we'll use the crafting guild to go and bank the Snape grass, teleport to our POH, hit the restoration pool to restore our stamina, and of course, do it all over again. Now, the gear that I'm bringing, of course, the max cape for the teleports, and graceful to lower our weight and help with, energy. Now, like I said before, we're testing the max cape versus the wiki, and if you don't have a max cape, then you can just use the regular teleports. So you can bring Astrals, Laws, Water, and Earth runes to use the Waterbirth Island teleports and the Moon Clan teleports, and of course just bring a staff of whichever rune you want, whether it be Earth or Water staff. Now if you are interested, I can show you what teleports you'll be using that will take you to the certain spots. So the Moon Clan teleport takes you to the bank here. It's the Lunar Isle teleport for me. This is where the Moon Clan teleport would take you, and from here you can just run into this bank right here and bank with Bird's Eye Jack. I do believe you need the seal if you haven't completed, I think it's one of the diaries that requires you to have the seal to talk to this person, which isn't a big deal because our slot's empty anyways, so you can just put it in there. And then of course, once you bank here, you just use the Waterbirth Island teleport to go back to the spot where the Snape grass is spawning. So for that, of course, you'll need to be on the Lunar Spellbook for that teleport and for this teleport as well. Now, if for whatever reason you do not have the Lunar Spellbook, it's recommended to bank in Relica. So what we'll do here is we'll come back to Relica and we will, of course you won't be using the boots, right? I think you take the boat to come back here and you can bank with Pier the Seer. So that is another option to, of course, bank. And then from here, you would just go to, where is it? It's one of these options. There it is right there. You would use Pier to bank, and then you would run back over here to go to Waterbirth Island from the boat. So this is also another good way of doing it. I mean, it doesn't really take that much time, and honestly, it's yeah, this is pretty fast as well. You get a full inventory here, travel back to Relica with the boat, and you're back here, and you can bank. The only problem with this is that your stamina will eventually run out, so you will need to either hit a restoration pool or use stamina potions. So now that I think about it, for me personally, it might actually be faster if I just use Pier the Seer to bank. I don't know. I'll have to do a test run to see which one's faster. But yeah, those are pretty much your options of banking with this Snape grass method. Just make sure that for Pier the Seer, I do think you need to have the easy Fremenic diaries completed at least, so make sure you have that done if you are using Pier the Seer to bank. Okay, so never mind. It actually is faster to use the max cape. For a second, I don't know why, I thought using Pier the Seer would be faster, but it's not. So it's about 24 seconds if I use the Pier the Seer method to go from the island back to Relica and then back here. If I use the cape, it's about 15 seconds, so it still is faster. And even if I was using the Pier the Seer method, I would eventually have to go back to the house to restore my run energy, so that would also eat up a little bit of time. Now, if you're like me, you might be wondering why this is even a moneymaker and why the price of Snape grass is the way that it is. And that's because it is a ingredient in herb lore. It's used to make prayer potions, which is probably the most popular thing that it's used for. I made quite a few of those back in my day whenever I was training herb lore to 99. It's also used in fishing potions and the hangover cure. So if you have a hangover, I guess save it for that. The hangover cure is of course an item that is used in, I believe, a main quest and a mini quest. Now, funnily enough, this video and my last video on wild pies are actually similar in the sense that I've received both of those items from items that I've currently been using quite frequently, and that is the eclectic impling jars for the master clues. Well, for medium clues to turn into master clues, but from the eclectic impling jars you can get Snape grass from those. So I have plenty of Snape grass already and plenty of wild pies from the other jars as well. And of course, besides this place and the eclectic impling jars, you can also farm Snape grass if you need it, which I haven't done farming in quite some time, and that I probably should because I still need the farming pet. So I should at least be doing my seaweed runs, but I get distracted by other videos that I'm working on, and then I just don't feel like gearing up for a farming run, so maybe one of these days we'll get back on it. But that is pretty much it for this moneymaker. Not really much to explain. I mean, you are just, of course, picking up items repeatedly, so yeah. Let's go ahead and see how much we got. Alrighty, so after 1 hour, we were able to collect 1,053 Snape grass, which is a little bit more than what the wiki estimated. I think it's about 100 more. But another important thing to note is that we didn't spend any money on runes for teleports, or any money on stamina potions, so this is just all profit right here. And if we do a price check on it, we can see that it's worth about $500,000, so not bad. Let's go ahead and head over to the GE and sell it off. So at market price, it's about $500,000, but if we put it in for what it's actively trading for, which is 465, it brings us down to 485, which, you know, is still pretty decent, so we'll leave it for that price. And we can see that it instantly sold off, and we actually ended up getting our $500,000 price. So I guess it did sell from market. We'll take it. So once again, after 1 hour of collecting Snape grass, we're left with 514,000 GP. Not bad. So normally this is the part where we would calculate the total profit that we made, of course taking into account the cost of supplies, but since we used the max cape, there was no cost of supplies. Normally you would use runes and possibly stamina potions, but here everything we made was just complete profit. Now unfortunately we didn't get any XP from this moneymaker, but that's not really too bad considering that we got a decent amount of profit from just picking up items. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and thank you to all of my channel members. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next episode.